Top morning, ladies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Deku became a or was way big or becomes way big. So, yeah, in this alternate timeline, way bad or the species that is like, let me look it up real quick.
Toku Star
is the in this alternate timeline that species of Toko Star was, instead of being in a negative world or whatever, no void in dimension, they all came to the human world. Some of those creatures actually breed with humans for millennia. So, yeah, some of them is happy to be tested on, like yeah. So some of them can transform back into their really big form. But there's one thing. So, yeah. So, basically, I am throwing in Zumi because it's just funny. So, Zuko, who was born quirkless, but not actually born quirkless. He has a quirk. But it's weaker than all. It's called overdrive. It basically allows him to use everyone else's quirk without having to steal it or copy it or borrowing it. And he can use their powers with, yeah, no matter how far they are. So, yeah. So Zuko and Zumi went to a quirk doctor. I'm not gonna bore you with, so I'm skipping what he says. He said, or usually it's sorry Zuko, you can't become a hero, but your sister can. And yeah, so then Inko paid way more attention to Zumi than to Zuko. Because he feels like he's been left out. But there's one thing. Some people aren't like. Give me a moment.
Toku Star
Toko Star was basically they don't need quirks to like enter back into their big forms. But yeah, so Zuko was tearing up as he could not believe, yeah, as he just like after let's say 9 years have passed. So he's basically 9 years old. He walks around by himself as a punk rock girl. Her um, was like, let's just listen to some music as she turns her head or her eyes and saw him. As she immediately, like her heart starts to pound. And you know who this is? Leave it in the comments below of who this character is. So, yeah. So she ends up. I gave you a hint. Bad and like punk one. So, yeah. Or punk rock music. So she turns her head. She sees Zuko Midoriya as her heart starts thumping. And she says in her own head, why is this happening to me? And yeah. So then she ends up walking to him, literally walks in, or like for a couple of days after that, he was like, I think, so she talks to him about how do you feel about dating somebody. And she literally asked him that. As Zuko wants to be a hero, but at the same time, he never really got to become it. So yeah, so he there is some muttering, but not like too much. And she starts to giggle. Oh, and she takes him by the shoulders, or his head, brings it up to her face, or to her, and I'm making her the same age as Zuko, so yeah. So she kissed him right on the lips. As yeah, sorry about that. Knee. So, yeah. Basically, all that stuff. And, yeah. Sorry, my dad again. So, yeah. The basically, she, or so both of them was embarrassed, but she enjoyed it. So did he. So then the time skip to 15. And I'm not like, as he hangs out now with her, as they said, what you, or of course she asks him, what quirk do you have? Well, really don't have any, or I'm quirkless. As she sees that as the opportunity to, because there's two possibilities for like for those for that species one. So the she ends up sorry, I'm just trying to keep my phone awake. So she ends up having like way more confidence that, and give me a moment. So yeah, basically this, or so there's two types, or sorry about that, there's two types. One, the usually female versions of those, like, give me a moment. Alright. That was just,
Toku Star.
yeah. So basically, there's two different types to Toko Star. Or there's two different, like, so if a female version of Toko Star or whatever it is
Toku Star.
was usually wants to manipulate a person, if it's like a normal human, they can easily get manipulated. But Zuko isn't normal. He is the same species as what she is. They don't know that. That Inko gave birth to not just a normal one, it's a like super ultimate one. Like super ultimate, way big. When he, with overdrive, him, allows him to also go 3 times as powerful. So, yeah. So basically, yeah, it is scary. So, it's basically, think about it as a lore of it. So, last 15 day, he's has up when Zuko and him were. Hold on, wait 1 second. Sorry about that. So, yeah. So Zuko and her were walking around. And the Zumi theme got one for all, and the like the basically Zumi did all the same thing which Zuko did in the canon version. Yeah. So then during the one for all, or like All Might versus All for One arc, the Zuko was actually present at there, but he and his like girlfriend and was actually went to bed and before. So, but Zuko as his quirk activated, as he used like Momo's creative quirk, as All for One uses his laser attack from his hand, and as Zuko jumps down with a giant size shield that's as he like pushing it back. As Zuko, or as All Might was taken back by this, a citizen saved his life. And Zuko was basically figured out because during that last couple days thing, like when he was only 15, he did a quirk test on without a quirk doctor thing, and yeah, the computer says as like Zuko who has a quirk called overdrive. As Zuko couldn't believe that he had overdrive. So, but actually Zuko's overdrive thing was infused into his entire skeleton DNA. Like, AKA, he is now has the powers of overdrive. And overdrive is overpowered. Whoever wields it could take over the entire world. But slow down, everyone. I know one of you in the last video, or the one that suggested Justin, sorry, to be like, hey, how about make him take over the world? That's kind of dumb, though. If I wanted Zuko to take over a world, I would have done so. But I want to have it as a, like, happy moment. Like, get a happy ending instead of the, oh, how about we kill everybody with just a one single stomp and everyone dies. Yeah, except for him. Is that what you're implying? So, yeah. So Zuko, used, like, creation to create a shield to block the All for One's attack. He used, when he got close, he used Bakugo's those explosions quirk, and then he used Dark Shadows as quirk, at the same time as his explosion. So, and when he could combine two quirks. So, yeah. So then Dark Shadow was like watching as Class 1A students, like Bakugo, everyone could not believe this kid is using all of their quirks at the same time. And he's also using One for All. Because he actually trained his body. And he's so hard because how to relieve the anger with just his, like, punching. Yeah. Zuko ends up using One for All. Oh. As he charges it up to about over 9,000 million trillion billion%. Yeah. He's using it at 9 sextillion tons of, or percent. Yeah. As he says to him, time for you to die here. As all for And Zuko says that to All for One. And you try to hurt my favorite idol. And you steal quirks from my friends. From those people. As Zuko's body starts to really charged up. That terrifies everyone. As he used, or Zuko uses his hardening quirk all the way to its maximal power. Yeah. As All for One looks at Zuko. You weren't fooled by the quirk doctor, aren't you? Because you already knew that you, in your heart, that you already had a quirk. But now I see it evolved into your abilities. So, go ahead. And as Zuko, or as All for One, transforms his arm into a big fist, let's finish this. As he comes in full swing, as Zuko does the same, it caused a shockwave. That shocked to the entire world. As Zuko's body, Zuko has resistance to any attacks. And because when he was young, after age of 4, he went to the same school as Bakugo. Bakugo and his gang beats up Zuko every single day. And yeah. So he says, there's one thing that I did learn. From one of my friends. And is this pain is nothing to me. As his eyes were red and yellow, he looks at All for One. Because overdrive allows him to use every quirk at his disposal. Or he uses everyone's quirk. As everyone couldn't believe it. Yeah, as even Toga couldn't believe that someone so reckless actually has a pain tolerance. So he says, now as Zuko uses full power, charging up into his entire body into a next level. As he punched All for One so hard that from a waist all the way up exploded And then I did with, blood spewing everywhere. So, yeah. Zuko looks up um, as he feels much better after he took his anger out on someone. As he cranes his neck and as he says, guess he's done with. As he reaches in or grabs All for One's lower half and he literally used All Might's or the pro hero like getaway thing as he he bounced all the way to the sun and threw the remains of All for One into the sun. And yeah. So then when he came back and he launched or he did a thud as he gets up. As he feels so free from his own worries. And so later that day, or the next day, but later was, or there was a meeting. There was a meeting between all the pro heroes of what the student or the kid did. As the Principal Nezu says that this kid isn't quirkless at all. He has a quirk of overdrive. As Nezu, who stops himself, he realized whoever has as every pro hero says, why? Hey, did you stop like that? As Nezu says, well, it's compared to there's two things. One was about
Toku Star.
And the other is the overdrive. Because all of them, the legends are whoever has overdrive is a lord of those creatures. So yeah. So Nezu tells them that Zuko should be in class 1A. Because if he has that power, he can be the only person that can rule us all if he falls into wrong hands. I was gonna make this into a good part and then bad part, but I'm like, you know what? Don't do bad parts. Not yet, though. So, the Midnight says, well, if he is that powerful, what would happen? Because they remember whoever has that power, but there is one other thing. Whoever has that power and is a what
Toku star.
that can becomes or at the same time can become the one who rules everything. And yeah, whoever rules everything can do what he or she wants. So lucky it's basically a legendary rare there. Because none of the other same species, the
Toku star.
Toko stars, er, have that to who. So then during that time, Zuko and her were just hanging out, chilling, and she ends up. She knows that he, or her, and him are on a date thing, but when her parents told her the entire story of Zuko beats all for one, as she like walks up to him, up to Zuko after she heard that, and she hugs her or him, and yeah, she wants him for herself. And yeah. So then yeah. So then the reason why she isn't like sad about it is because she wants him to be all for herself. Yeah. So then the very next day, Zuko got a like the message from, or actually the acceptance letter to by Nezu or by All Might, and he says that young Midoriya, you are now accepted to UA as Class 1A top student, and then the I know you probably are going to a normal school, But this is going to be a golden opportunity for you to become a pro hero. And your new hero name is going to be Overdrive. Overdrive. Yeah. So basically, as she still loves him, as her and him, or as she like walks up to him, kind of go like this. So yeah. So basically, yeah. So then they did the Pro Heroes, or he went to UA. He caught up on all his work. And the quirked school has a policy, but they didn't realize. So, yeah. So Zuko ends up like visiting, and yeah, he joins the gym every single day. Like after school, he is punching the punching bag, and he also hangs out with his girlfriend and so much as sometimes she likes it when he hangs out with her. So then, so overhaul, oh, pause. Sorry about that. Yeah, so please wait for part 2.